What if I told you that just a few hours from Sofia lies a landscape so extraordinary it looks like it belongs on another planet? A place where massive red rocks tell ancient legends and underground caves hide millions of years of geological secrets. Hello everyone and welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Catalin, and in today's video I'm answering the question everyone's been asking. Is this day trip from Sofia to the Belogradchik Rocks and Venetsa cave actually worth your time and money? After spending 12 hours on this exact tour and documenting every detail, I've created the most comprehensive guide you'll find anywhere. This video combines incredible natural formations with fascinating history, all packed into a single excursion from Sofia. I'll walk you through everything you need to know, from booking details and what to bring to the best photo spots and local legends. Let me break down exactly how this day trip works, starting with how to book the right tour. The trip I took was through Get Your Guide, and I've left the exact link in the description below if you want the same experience. Our day began early as we joined a small group of 7 travelers in a compact van. Our driver, who also served as our guide, picked us up right on time. The drive from Sofia to Belogradchik takes about 3 hours each way. Try to sit on the left side of the van behind the driver to avoid the direct sunlight since there aren't any curtains. We arrived at Belogradchik Rocks around 11:20. After our guide purchased the tickets, we began our ascent through the fortress pathway. These impressive rock formations are part of the Western Balkan Mountains and were formed over 230 million years ago. These towering red sandstone formations, now standing up to 200 meters tall, were actually underwater millions of years ago. When the ancient seas pulled back, they left behind these massive rock figures we see today. The unique reddish color comes from the iron oxide in the rock. As we walked through the fortress built among the rocks, our guide stopped several times to share historical details. The fortress has a layered past. Romans built it in the 3rd century, then Byzantines expanded it, followed by Bulgarians, and finally Ottomans renovated it in the 19th century. You can still see elements from each period as you walk through the stone walls. So at 12 he finished his last presentation on top of the rocks, on top of the fortress, and now we have 1 hour to explore on our own. At the top we were given about an hour to explore on our own. We had more time here than we actually needed, since the area where visitors can safely walk around isn't very large. Still, the panoramic views from the top were breathtaking. The rock formations create narrow passages between them, almost like natural rooms to walk through. Each rock formation has a name and story. One that stood out was the Madonna, which resembles a woman holding a child. The legend tells of a nun named Valentina who fell in love with a shepherd called Anton. When their forbidden love was discovered after Valentina became pregnant, Anton tried to rescue her. A sudden storm turned everyone to stone. The angry monks, Valentina with her child, and Anton on his horse. You can still see the shapes in the rocks today. There's also the schoolgirl, the bear, and the horseman, among others. Here's some souvenirs. If you guys want to buy anything, just around 1 p.m. we left and stopped at a local shop where everyone bought some food. We drove about 15 minutes to a picnic spot just 1 minute away from the Venetsa cave entrance. This was a perfect place to eat lunch while enjoying the view. After eating, our guide went to buy tickets for the cave. The Venetsa cave, whose name means reef, may be smaller than other famous caves, but it's quite charming. It's relatively young at about 23 million years old and extend about 200 meters deep. Inside we saw beautiful stalactites, stalagmites, and flowstone formations. The cave maintains a constant temperature of about 8 to 10 degrees Celsius year-round, so it felt refreshingly cool after spending the morning in the sun. I recommend leaving your backpacks in the van because some of the cave tunnels are quite narrow. We spent about 30 minutes exploring, which was enough time to see everything. We started our journey back to Sofia around 3 p.m., arriving at about 5:40 p.m. The return trip gave us time to rest after a day of walking and exploring. That's our day trip to Belogradchik Rocks and Venetsa cave. If you enjoyed this video, check out my previous one where I visited Plovdiv for a day. Don't forget to subscribe for my next video. a drinking tour featuring 2 wineries, and a rakia museum tour. I might need some help finding my way back after that one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next adventure.